Everybody clap for me to sit down. Next guy that comes up and says, "Huh, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring back the bacon for you. You're going to have roads and bridges, and you're going to have hospitals, and you're going to have post offices, and you're going to have the best infrastructure that money can buy, even if we've got to borrow the money from China and get your great-grandchildren to pay for it, and I'm going to bring it back to Tennessee, or I'm going to bring it back to Georgia." What do you think would happen in that election? It wouldn't even be close, because I'm not sure you could get elected today making that kind of a promise and running on that kind of a platform, because we have become so accustomed to taking all this government largesse, this alleged free money that people talk about, that we have gotten to the point where we expect them to do that whether it's appropriate or not, because that's what we've got to quit doing. Now, what can you do about this? Now, I can only tell you what I'm going to do, because I'm bad at giving other people advice, but I'm going to start holding my candidates who ask me for their vote to a higher standard. I'm going to go back to the original standard. I'm going to go back to the standard that I know the founders intended, and I'm going to take a copy of Article 1, Section 8, and I'm going to ask every candidate, if I vote for you, will you promise to abide by this? I don't care about a Supreme Court decision in 1937. Will you abide by this? If they say no, then they're done. Stick a fork in them, they're done. I'm not going to vote for somebody that'll do that anymore. Now, is that going to make it hard on them? I hope so, because if enough of us did that, they'd get the message. Now, is one little congressman from Georgia or Tennessee going to make a difference? I don't know, but if you could do this nationwide, it would definitely have an impact. What could you do at the state level? At the state level, you have a lot more control. You're going to run into these people a lot more than you do your congressman. At the state level, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my state senator, my state representative, and I'm going to look him in the eye, and I'm going to say, let me tell you what I expect you to do if you want me to vote for you again. I want you to assert Georgia's rights under the 10th Amendment. We have states' rights. We are a sovereign state. We are not run by the federal government, and we will not do this. Will you guarantee me that you will sponsor legislation and support legislation and vote for legislation that asserts Georgia's rights under the 10th Amendment? If they can't do that, find somebody else. And if you did that nationwide, you'd change the states as well.
Amen.
A couple of other things you can do to support real change. The fair tax. Everybody's talked about the fair tax. Fair tax probably represents the biggest, most important thing that you could do for this country today if you could get it passed, because it would represent the biggest shift in power from the federal government back to the people that there's been since the Revolutionary War. Because if the people in Washington didn't have the